Let's begin with a powerful multi-emulator front-end, RetroArch, available on nearly every operating system including Windows, Mac, Android, and iOS. RetroArch supports a vast array of retro systems like the Atari 2600, NES, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and many more. However, despite its impressive versatility, I found RetroArch's user experience to be challenging, particularly on Android, where configuring touchscreen controls can be quite frustrating. For Android users seeking an easier alternative, the Moroid is an excellent choice. While it doesn't support as many systems as RetroArch, its intuitive interface makes it much more user-friendly. Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, released in 1985, revolutionized the gaming industry with iconic titles like Super Mario Bros. 3, Kirby's Adventure, and Mega Man 2. For emulating the NES, top choices include Mason, Nestopia, and FCE Wax. All three are exceptional and available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. For Android, the Moroid is a great free option, while NES.emu and VGBA Next are paid alternatives. iOS users can rely on the Delta emulator, known for its smooth performance and compatibility. Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES, released in 1991. The SNES built on the success of the NES with classics like Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, and Super Metroid. The best SNES emulator across all platforms is SNES 9X. It offers a user-friendly interface and can run virtually every SNES game with minimal issues. SNES 9X is available on Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS, making it a versatile choice for gamers on any device. The Sega Saturn is one of the challenging systems to emulate even to this day. Launched in 1995, delivering unforgettable experiences with games like X-Men vs Street Fighter, Sonic Jam, and Daytona USA. On Windows, Mac, and Linux, Mednafen is a top standalone emulator, though it requires BIOS files to operate and has lower performance. If you prefer not to deal with BIOS, RetroArch is a solid alternative using the Beetle Saturn core, which also extends compatibility to Android and iOS. But if you really don't want to use RetroArch, I suggest to try either Mednafen or Kronos for PC user. Sega Dreamcast. The Dreamcast, released in 1999, was Sega's final console that sadly couldn't compete with the PlayStation 2, remembered fondly for titles like Soul Calibur, Crazy Taxi, and Shenmue. The best Dreamcast emulator for every operating system, including Android and iOS, is Flycast, which performs well despite it requiring a bit more setup. Another alternative for Flycast emulator is Redream, that is available on PC and Android. The Nintendo 64, despite its 2D and old 3D graphics, is also another console that is challenging to emulate. Released in 1996, brought us legendary games like Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and Banjo-Kazooie. For PC, Project 64 has long been a favorite, but recent concerns about malware have prompted many to switch to Simple 64, a safer alternative. On Android, M64 plus FC is the top standalone N64 emulator, while iOS users can continue to enjoy the new release Delta emulator. PlayStation 1, or PSX, Sony's first home console. The PlayStation 1 debuted in 1995 with classics such as Final Fantasy VII, Silent Hill, and Resident Evil 2. The best PS1 emulator for PC and Android is DuckStation. Although it requires a BIOS, it is still easy to set up, and the most important part, of course, is its high performance and enhanced graphical options. Another good alternative PS1 emulator on PC and Android is the EPS-XE, and for the iOS users, now have the new Gamma emulator as a reliable choice for PS1 emulation, offering a smooth emulation experience. Nintendo Gamecube and Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Gamecube launched in 2001 and the Nintendo Wii released in 2006. Both left a lasting legacy with games like Pokémon Colosseum, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy, and Wii Sports. The best emulator for both consoles is obviously Dolphin Emulator, available on every platform. For Nintendo Wii, yes, it requires a motion sensor bar to play some games, but for some other games it doesn't require it at all. Dolphin's robust performance and extensive feature set make it the go-to option for playing GameCube and Wii titles. PlayStation 2. Released in 2000, the PlayStation 2 became the best-selling console of all time, thanks to iconic games like Final Fantasy X, Silent Hill 2, and GTA San Andreas. For emulating the PS2, PCSX2 is the top choice for Windows, Mac, and Linux. On Android, neither SX2 has stepped in after the discontinuation of Aether SX2, and unfortunately there's no PS2 emulator on iOS yet. The Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS, released in 2004, introduced a new era of handheld gaming with titles like Pokemon Platinum, Mario Kart DS, and Animal Crossing Wild World. Melon DS is the best DS emulator for PC, offering excellent accuracy and performance. While the unofficial Melon DS available for Android, I think the best DS emulator for Android is still the Drastic emulator, which now has become free on the Play Store. iOS users can rely on the Delta emulator. Nintendo 3DS. The Nintendo 3DS launched in 2011, offered innovative gameplay with games like Super Mario 3D Land, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and Pokemon Sun and Moon. Citra remains the top 3DS emulator for PC and Android, even after being discontinued as collateral damage due to Nintendo vs. Yuzu legal issues. Unfortunately for iOS, the best available option is Volume, though it struggles to run games smoothly, even on the latest iPhone models. The PlayStation Portable or PSP is Sony's first handheld console that got massive success back in the 2000s. Released in 2004, the PSP remembered for hits like Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Final Fantasy Crisis Core, and Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. The best PSP emulator is obviously the PSSPP, which stands out for its easy to use and high performance with so many features. It's available across Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and now iOS, making it a versatile option for all users. The PlayStation Vita, launched in 2012, was Sony's second handheld console, offering gems like Persona 4 Golden, Hotline Miami, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. Vita 3K is the only emulator available for PC and Android, and although it still requires further development, it's already capable of running some games smoothly. Unfortunately, there's no Vita emulator available for iOS yet. The Nintendo Wii U, released in 2012, struggled in the market but still brought us amazing games like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Bayonetta 2, and Pikmin 3. Cemu is the best Wii U emulator for PC, and while there are plans for an Android version, there's no initial release until this day, and unfortunately there's no update whether it will be released on iOS in the future. The Nintendo Switch, released in 2017, became a massive success with titles like Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Pokemon Sword and Shield. Though the Yuzu emulator was once the best option for PC and Android, it was discontinued due to legal issues with Nintendo. Ryujinx and Sudachi now take the lead on PC, while Android users are left with options like XNS, which requires a subscription, and I'm not recommending it at all, or waiting for promising alternatives like Pine Emulator. Unfortunately, there's still no viable Switch emulator for iOS. For the rest of the list is only contain emulator that is only available for PC and not on mobile. So we start with the PlayStation 3, released in 2006, delivering unforgettable experiences with games like GTA 5, The Last of Us, and Red Dead Redemption. The RPCS3 emulator is the best option for playing PS3 games on PC. While it still needs a lot of improvement, it's getting better with every update. Original Xbox. Microsoft entered the console market with the original Xbox in 2001, a console with hardware that's similar to a PC, bringing iconic titles like Halo 2, Halo Combat Evolved, and Half-Life 2. The best emulators for these consoles are Cemu or CXBX Reloaded. While both are not that ideal yet, many prefer Cemu for its better accuracy and performance. Finally, we have the Xbox 360, Microsoft's second console releases. Released in 2005, which offer hits like Fallout 3, Borderlands 2, and Batman Arkham City. The only available emulator for the Xbox 360 is Xenia, that is still far from ideal. Xenia currently runs only on Windows. And that wraps up the best emulator for PC and mobile as of 2024. If you have any questions or need further guidance, feel free to ask in the comments below.